Hey, thanks for joining me here on from Coors Field here at 20th and Blake. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. I'm going to have your weather forecast in a few minutes. But first of all, look behind me. Those are the Colorado Rockies getting ready for their home opener here coming up at 2:10 this afternoon. And we'll be, of course, broadcasting from here coming up at 9 News at noon as well. But in the meantime, it's a pretty cool sight, isn't it? Opening day. It is awesome. And you know what? I had a hoodie on earlier, and I'm going to bring in my real expert here, Scotty Gange. He's the real weather guy. Actually, you're going that side. That's right. Sorry about that, Scotty.
Hey.
But, forget about sports for just a second. You're the real weather guy. So this is somewhere in that weird in-between of it's not T-shirt weather, but it's not hoodie weather, right?
It's like a long-sleeve pullover tee kind of thing. Like, this is light. It feels good.
You feeling good?
It's nice. It's just cold enough to wake you up.
And Scotty's from California originally, so this is a pretty good insight here from Scotty. First of all, also, this is awesome, isn't it? Coors Field, opening day.
It's my favorite day of the year. It's my favorite day of the year. You get to home opener. This place is going to be filled with people. And it's just, I don't know, the idea of opening day is, hey, you have no idea what could happen this season, but today we get to celebrate. We get to celebrate all the guys here. I mean, we were just downstairs in the locker room talking to all of them. And, guys like Mike Moustakas, who have been around the MLB for a long time, say, hey, I never get sick of this, never get tired of this. And so it's pretty cool to get to celebrate today.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's that kind of like childlike excitement that you kind of, I don't know. I'm 35, and I still get excited every
You're
opening
like a
day.
kid today.
Yeah, I'm still like a kid today, no doubt about it. It's fun to be here, and you know what? The weather, I'll just say it's not all that bad. Let's take a look at that forecast and show you what we can expect for today here at 20th and Blake. Right now, we're probably somewhere in the mid-40s. Again, standing in the sun, it feels pretty nice to me. So if you're heading down here, I would bring a hoodie. I'd bring a light jacket. The other thing is that the wind won't be much of a player either. So the good news is, again, if you're coming down to 20th and Blake, if you're sitting in the sun, I would say it's T-shirt weather, but if you're in the shade, it's definitely hoodie, if not jacket weather. Now, overall, in terms of those weather headlines, the sun is back. We're talking about those temps, again, in the low 50s for us for today. Much warmer for tomorrow, though. We'll be near 70 degrees. And then next week, how about 80 degrees, our first 80-plus of the year, looking very, very likely. AC Doppler radar, it is quiet at the moment with mostly sunny skies here across the Front Range. You might notice there across the Palmer Divide, that is actually snowpack that's being picked up by the radar, and that's, in some cases, we picked up as much as, get this, 7 inches of snow overnight along the Palmer Divide, just north of the Air Force Academy and south of Castle Rock. That's where we did see, in some cases, again, 6-7 inches worth of snowfall. Pretty impressive little system that was very localized. Again, Lone Tree on north, really, again, C470 on north. Nobody really in the metro area saw any sort of accumulation overnight, but you get just a little south of there, and that's where we did see just enough snow to make it, well, more than a bit noticeable. I know that condition's still a little bit slick out there if you're driving on the gap between Denver and Colorado Springs. Temperatures right now, a lot of 40s and 50s on the eastern plains. It is on the chilly side, 20s and 30s up into the mountains. And for today, temps again in the low 50s, and not too shabby. And I'll say this, doing the forecast last week for opening day, it looked a bit more ominous, but right now, again, today, sunshine, I'll take it, and I don't have to tell you, April 6th in Denver, Colorado, it's either 10 or it's 80 degrees, so 52 degrees, I'm just going to be the optimist, the eternal optimist, and that's the theme of opening day. It's going to be on the nice side. Tonight, temperatures down into the mid-30s for seasonably chilly. Not too bad for this time of year. Light winds continue. By the way, first 7:30 sunset of the year coming up on Saturday, so we won't have 7:30 or earlier sunsets until September. The thing to watch for tomorrow, high fire danger once again. That's the not so good news, as we'll be talking about those winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour, low relative humidity as well. And that wind gust forecast, again, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, I don't think that fire danger should be as high as what we had through much of last week, but it will be up there because, again, very dry air mass and at times gusty winds for our friends in the southeastern plains, and especially as you head south of Highway 50. That's where I think we're a little concerned about the increased and elevated fire danger for tomorrow. But the winds in the metro area and in northeast Colorado should be light enough that I don't think we'll be looking at too much in the way of high fire danger. For tomorrow, temperatures mid-60s for us here in Denver. We'll have some intermittent periods of clouds for us along the Front Range tomorrow, and it's noticeably warmer compared to today with those temperatures a bit above our seasonal average. For tomorrow, our average high, 61 degrees, so it'll be about 5 degrees above that. Low 70s in a few spots in the southeastern plains. And if you're lucky enough to be doing some skiing tomorrow, I am jealous because we're talking about those highs in the 40s. It is one of those kind of gaper day kind of days where you can go up in a tracksuit and you're going to be probably all right. Now, in terms of next week, and I mentioned that chance for 80-plus degree temperatures next week, that's because of a big ridge of high pressure, big honking ridge of high pressure moves on in, and that will likely boost our temperatures up to 80 or above in Denver next week. And we, by the way, average our first 80-plus day of the year somewhere in the third week of April. That's the kind of shorter-term average. Long-term average is usually the last week of the month of April where we get our first 80-plus day of the year. But it looks like next week, pretty good bet that we'll get to 80 or above. In fact, we might do it a couple days next week. 7-day forecast. Right now, calling for a couple of days just below 80 degrees, but next Tuesday looks like the warmest day with a high near 81 degrees, and that should have us, again, at our first 80-plus of the year, and not too bad for the second week of the month of April. By the way, Easter Sunday, Easter egg hunts, things like that, perfect. We're going to be talking about temps in the low 70s, sunshine. It is going to be very, very nice weather for us this upcoming weekend. So overall, top takeaways here, well, from 20th and Blake as the Colorado Rockies stretch and beginning their home opening little bits of kind of warm-ups here. Well, things looking pretty nice for today. Again, standing in the sun, I'll tell you what, if you got I would kind of look at your stadium seat arrangement and see if you're sitting in the shade versus the sun, because if you're in the sun, it is very, very nice. If you're in the shade, it's hoodie, if not jacket weather. So again, if you're heading down here, if you're in the shade, it'll be cool. If you're in the sun, I feel delightful right now. So hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect as the Rockies get ready to get underway coming up at 2:10 this afternoon. I'll be back coming up at 9 News at noon with a full update from here as well. And we'll also, by the way, here at 12:30, I'll do a little walk around and show you a bit of the atmosphere here at 20th and Blake. So stay tuned here on 9 News Plus. We'll have more from the Colorado Rockies home opener. Once again, I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus.